can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, he has teeth or something in there.
Welcome to BTR Outdoors, and on this episode we're going to be getting our fishing reels ready for spring fishing. Alright, so getting ready for spring fishing, especially bass fishing, I like using these bait caster rods. And so getting those ready, putting some new line on and getting them cleaned up, that's what we're going to be learning how to do today. So these are my two bait caster rods for my bass rods. I am from Texas, so we love our bass down here, and so every year I can really cast these really accurate, and that's why I like these little reels. And so the first thing we're going to do is replace the line. I don't know if you can tell, I know this white line is a little bit dingy from being used a lot, but I'm going to replace it with some Trilene 14 pound. That's what I usually like, 14 or 17 pound. This is the extra smooth casting, and it's kind of a greenish color, which we'll show you how to do that later. But first I'm going to get rid of all the line on both these reels, and then what we're going to do is clean them up, and then we'll spool the line on. So let me take off this line. Alright, there's really no trick of doing this, is just pulling it off. So I'm not going to bore you. So I'm just going to pull this off. Right, so there they are, all the line off of them, and so here's all the line that came off them. Very important is, let's make sure we throw this in the trash. We don't want our pets or any kind of animals getting into this and trying to eat it, and or get tangled up in it, because you always see line all over the place, it seems like, when you go fishing. So make sure you dispose of the line properly. Now to the next step. All right, what we're going to do is wash this off with some just regular fresh water. Kind of get all the dust and some of the grime off. All right. Then I'm just going to take a little brush or something, just kind of go around the edges, getting in those little cracks and stuff like that, just trying to get some of the dust and dirt, all the debris from going fishing over the past year. Give it a good rinse again. And of course, Ronan loves water. I say that now, you don't do it. All right, we'll do the other one, then we'll go to the next step. All right, we got them washed off. So now we're just gonna dry them off really good. Shake all that water out. We don't want any of that water left in there. Being out in the sun today will help them dry off really good. Shake the water out, give it a good pat down. All right, there you go. Okay, we got it dried off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to break it down all the way. I just want to break it down so I can oil some parts. I don't know if y'all can see that right here. I'm going to oil that with some oil, because that spools the line on, or that puts the line on the spool. Don't want that smooth. And probably doing the oil inside the little handle. And then we'll just go from there, and I'll show you how I do that. Got a little bitty screwdriver. And I'm gonna need a little bitty wrench right quick. Right. It's important that you use the right tool for the job. And there we go. I just need something just to break it loose, twist it off. All right, so I'll clean that up some. And the oil I'm using is Marvel lubricating oil. I've had this forever. I couldn't even tell you how many years I've had this, but this is what I use every year. I love this stuff. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just pour a little bit in here, nothing much, just enough. Lubricate some of the parts, and then I'll put it all back together, and that section will be done. Put everything back together. Always remember how you take stuff apart. I have a bad habit of not doing that. Remember what order of things come apart. It will make the job a lot easier. Feels pretty good. Okay, and this right here is what sets the drag. You can loosen it or tighten it from right there. This right here, I'm taking off. That adjusts your lure size to make the spool, depending on your lure size, you adjust it right here with this knob, and that allows the spool to freely give when you press this button. And if you get that perfect where it's just barely coming down, just an even down, you can cast it a lot farther. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of oil in here too. Nothing much, and then just put that cap back on. The next time I put a lure on, I'll have to adjust that. Then what I'm going to do is put a little bit on these gears right here. Run it through. Right, and I'm going to wipe everything down because I don't want no oil to get on the line. All right, there you go. Next step will be putting some line on. All right, there's it fully oiled, cleaned, and ready for line to be put on. Also, this is the Marvel lubricating oil. I couldn't tell you how old this bottle is. As you can see on the label, starting to turn like a light brown. I've had it for many, many, many years, but this stuff is the best lubricating oil that I know of, and I've been using it, and most of this oil has gone on my fishing rods or my fishing reels. All right, let's put some line on. All right, since I don't have Tracy here, I got me a screw with some washers on it so it can't pull through. I'm just gonna run it through my line and then just screw it right here right quick. You can kind of also adjust the tightness of how tight you screw it in. That's how I do it when I don't have nobody to hold it for me. And this rod is a Pinnacle. It's for a 10 to 17 pound line, a lure to 3/8 to 1 ounce. It's 6'6". It is a pretty stiff rod, and I kind of like that to throw my lures, especially my worms and stuff, for bass fishing. It's kind of overall good around rod and reel for this. The reel is a Abu Garcia. It's called a Black Max. Not real expensive. This whole setup is not really expensive, but it's really good. I really enjoy having it. Then I'm gonna run the line through the first eye. That way to keep the line straight when it goes into the reel. So just the first eye. Then I'm gonna run it through my line guide. And then I'm gonna run around the spool and we'll tie a clinch knot. And I'm gonna use a clinch knot because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what's always worked the best for me. And there's hundreds of different knots you could use. Just go online. Let tight. Wet it a little bit. Pull it tight on there, cut off the excess, and you can start reeling her up. I like taking a wet paper towel and I'll hold it around the line to give it some tension. I don't want my line too loose around the spool, but I'll use this wet paper towel just to apply pressure. We can get a good line up on this reel. Remember to keep tension on the line. You want it on that spool. Not super tight, but pretty tight. That's what it's looking like so far. I don't want to fill it up all the way to the top of the spool, but just below it. All right, if you can see that, that's about perfect. And then you're done. All right, all done. Now this rod and reel is ready for some springtime bass fishing, Texas bass fishing. And I'll just do the other one the same way and be ready to go. Like I said, spring's here, and I got a feeling about another 2 weeks it's gonna be perfect fishing. Just a little quick showing you the setup, how to run the line. If you don't have nobody to hold it for you, makes it very simple. All right, I looked and looked. There it is. It took me about an hour to find this, but luckily I found it. I can finish up the other reel. Woo! All right, I want to thank you for watching BTR Outdoors. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That always helps our channel out a lot. And leave a comment. We love hearing from our subscribers. So y'all have a good one.